Good afternoon everyone and hope you're well. Welcome back to A Place in Space. It is a Tuesday, it's New Comic Book Day, and interestingly this time it's actually the fifth week of a month. Now what happens in the fifth week? Generally there's less stuff out, which may, believe it or not, actually work in our favour for these videos, because these are the ones I love the most. It means I get to slow down the pace, grovel around in all things mucky, murky and dirty and indie, and generally waffle on about horror, which is some of the stuff I love to do most. It's not to say there's not Marvel and DC stuff out. There is. I want to kick off super quickly on Avengers. This is Avengers Assemble Alpha. That's Jason Aaron wrapping up Avengers Forever, Avengers 1 million BC. He's basically bringing you everything he's doing right now, coming towards you, and entering, should we say, he's about to drop the end cap to his Avengers career, should we say, because I think Marvel are about to bring him to a bit of a close there. That's just my feeling, but we'll see. Nightwing has a bit of an annual out this week. That's from Tom Taylor, of course. He's been doing delicious work for over on DC and Nightwing recently. The Boy in Blue is doing very, very well indeed. And also, Greg Pak. Now, it's been a long time since I waffled on to you about Greg Pak in these videos, but infamously alongside everything Hulk, also Scar was one of his very biggest, should we say, bringing Scar out to the forefront, which would have been seen as at some point a lesser Hulk, but smashing it to the moon and back as he did in his original storylines was epic. Scar's back in Planet Hulk Worldbreaker. Obviously he had a little bit of a cameo in some recent Marvel stuff. That's not really what this kind of version of Scar is about. If you want to see a continuation of the original mythos of what Scar was like, yeah, Greg Pak will have you covered on that one there. And that's kind of it. Now we go over to indie time. So if you don't like indie and me waffling on about things that are disgusting and horrible, you're good. If you do like that, stay tuned. Okay, The Approach number 2. Now, this came out this time last month from Boom, and I have to say it was an instant sellout. Boom have their horror licked right now. They are wicked. If you joined us in that first issue, obviously you will have read and found out that that plane, which did go missing and did re-emerge, but it did end up being missing for 24 years. There's an awful lot of weird and wonderful stuff that was happening in the middle of it. If you want to know what kind of stuff, look away if you haven't seen any of it yet. But yeah, you're now in this territory. So Boom have got you definitely down with some really nasty stuff there, and I have to say, hit after hit is coming out of that publishing house right now. It's good, no less so than this one. I didn't even get a copy of this when it came out. First prints were done, so I'm very happy to see a second print. This is from, excuse me, House of Slaughter's Tate Bromwell. I've written on my notes in the back there because I well and truly forgot that. Now, House of Slaughter obviously spins out of Something's Killing the Children, and on the strength of that book alone will be a smash hit, issue after issue after issue. This is Tate's first original series, and it looked absolutely staggering. This, for my money, and bear in mind I haven't read this yet, this is blurring the lines between the planes of existence about what happens when dreams become, well, actual real-life nightmares, shall we speak. The beautiful, beautiful artwork, almost a little bit monstrousy in there, perhaps. Love the look of that, cannot wait. So yeah, thank you Boom for the second print, because Jesus, I missed it. This I was lucky enough to get on issue 1. Briart issue 1. Jesus, that was dark. Started ever so slightly playfully, somewhat of a heroine in a fantasy world. That's been done a few times before, and then it got, oh my Judas Iscariot, dark level dark, very, very, very quickly indeed. That's just 3 Boom titles I've just happened to show on a random week at the end of a year on a 5th week, and every single one of them looks amazing. Boom, keep this up, that is great. Is that another one? It's another Boom one. Jesus, I didn't actually order these. Perhaps I should have done. Simon Spurrier and Charlie Adler bring you down them all. Now, this is something akin to, so we say, John Constantine, apart from this is very much the lovely young lady of an ex-exorcist who's gone missing. The 72 demons of the Grisha are out running wild. Charlie Adler has got you covered on amazing artwork. Very, very grim. Some of the commentary within certain panels in here is oh so 18+, but very funny. Issue 1 had me chuckling. Cannot wait for issue 2. Going to get a little bit more playful now for just 1 second. Godzilla Rivals. Now this is a series of one-shots. Although every single issue says issue 1, technically it is a sequence of one-shots about the main villains in, well, Godzilla's lovely young life, really. So if that strikes you as your cup of tea or coffee, jump right in. Going to go back to Chroma. Now yes, this did come out a couple of weeks ago, but again I missed a copy. It all sold out on pre-order. Now this is Lorenzo Di Felici. You might know him from Oblivion Song. He's been illustrating that these last couple of years. Over there his colour palette's been somewhat more dark and murky sci-fi. This is really quite cool. The fantasy, this feels like a fantasy trope out of my childhood. Dreams, something along the lines of Henson, mixed in with that, where it just goes bonkers. This is the local comic shop day exclusive cover, and I'm going to move that around there quite a lot. because there's some lovely spot gloss on there, which if you move it, you get the secondary image. I'm not sure if any of that is showing up, but rest assured, when you hold that thing in the flesh, that is delicious. So yeah, absolutely smoked for the image. Image Indies out this week. This one just happens to be on Image. More on Image here. Now, I did spend quite a lot of time when I introduced Lovesick #1 a couple of weeks ago about just how genuinely dark and really quite disturbing issue #1 is. Issue #2 is no less so. Okay, so Luana, she actually put up quite a lengthy post on her, if you want to check out her Twitter, about why she's writing this book. It's worth a read. If you read this and you're completely puzzled about why such a thing is being published, and I wouldn't blame you if you did, yeah, really quite interesting. Definitely one of the darkest modern horror books I think Image have ever put their name and pens to. If that probably piques your interest, trust me when I say it might not pique it in the interest that you expect it to. It is lunacy level dark and horrible. Very, very real and frankly quite disturbing. This is also, but very much in a different way. They described this as neon horror. I don't know if you remember a couple of years ago you had plastic and vinyl. They were just demented, but very much in a obviously fantastical realm. This is their new vehicle. Who is it? I forget actually, but they described it as furries, psychopath and cannibalism. Not sure if that's what you want for dinner, but either way, it's out now. And then Wildstorm, it somehow has been 30 years, somehow, since Wildstorm and Jim Lee and his wonderful bunch of dudes did their thing. Yeah, there's bringing that very much into the main DC universe. There's a whole bunch of original content from by that lovely bunch of folks right there, and I have to say, the book looks fantastic. If you pause that, you'll know exactly who's on it. But yeah, I could spend most of the video flicking through this thing actually, because all the staff have been cooing about this today. And that is, I think that's actually larger than most graphic novels these days. 100 pages, there you go, you get a lot in that one. I'm going to finish up super quickly before I do covers of the week with previews. Now, it's been a couple of videos since I've mentioned previews, mainly because I keep forgetting. But previews comes out once a month, and it's a very good guide to show you what's coming out in 3 months, because he says dropping half of it, because previews comes out, I know exactly why I'll be waffling on to you about Darkwing Duck and Gargoyles during 2 months time. It's a very, very cool way to plot out what the medium and the genres and all the things comic books will be coming out very soon. Within one, you get your DC one as well as your Marvel one. So just, if you're ever thinking to yourself, how do I keep track of what's coming out, this is what we use. Very useful. A few quick covers of the week and I think we're good. I want to hop back over to Briar. Now this is a Virgin cover from Tula Lotte, which, although our said heroine doesn't actually spend that much time looking that wonderful and ethereal, she spends it most of the time covered in blood. That's lovely. Lotte, that is lovely. This is just demented. Who did I write down that was? That was Aaron Campbell. That's Damn Them All issue 2. I believe that's the 1 in 50. No doubt showing one of the Goetia, one of the demons within. Looks lovely. 2 Wildstorm covers to finish up, and I think we're good, ladies and gentlemen, for this week. We go over to Joshua Middleton. We've said his name so many times in this section before, but when he keeps on doing stuff like that, I've just got to keep on showing him. The man's a master. He's got a Poison Ivy cover, he says, slurring slightly. It's not even 7 o'clock yet, so I must calm down. Coming out next week, which is just, oh my god, we've still got, I could check this morning, we've got about 10 copies left. Get looking if you like yourself some Joshua Middleton. The man is currently on the form of his life. But for me, it's one Miss Sozumakai, because she's just done that, which when we opened the boxes earlier, all of us to a man were like, that's a bit special. That is it from me for this week, ladies and gentlemen. I shall see you all in around about 7 days' time. Much love, enjoy. Bye.